Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Tiger Nexus podcast. Welcome to State of the Tight Cage, where this is my solo sequences, my singular podcast episodes. Normally this drops during the week once a month, but this time around we are replacing a weekly episode only because a few things have taken my time away from interviewing guests or geeking out with guests, and so I wasn't able to get one done. I had to kind of put this in the slot, so I apologize about that, but nevertheless, I'm happy to do a State of the Tight Cage every now and then just to replace a main episode if I need to, but I'll happily tell you the reason why. Get ready for this, right? So first off, my boy turned 6 in the early March. So he's 6 now, and that was awesome. His birthday kind of spread across for 2 weeks because obviously I'm not with his mum, and he had his actual birthday, which he was in school for. And then I wanted to do something with him one weekend. His mum wanted to do something with him one weekend, and all sorts of stuff. So his birthday lasts 2 weeks. There's also family friends that wanted to see him but could only see him on certain days and things like this. So yeah, he had a 2-week-long birthday. So that took up a lot of my time. Another thing is as well, and I'm very proud to announce this, the 3 Ranger Bros Studios are finally making content. So basically, way back in January, I think it was January, Cosplay 267 or Willie wanted to add the host of If You Give It Out a Podcast, that's Jared, as a council member. The council members are what we are deeming as our partners to the group. So they're not the 3 Ranger Bros, but they're attached to the group. And the 3 Ranger Bros have got 2 partners at the minute, 2 council members. That's A Crown and Cosplay Sun 67, which is Willie's kid Xander. So Jared got roped in, and Willie made the point of, hey, just trying to broaden the group and trying to do something with the name. And to be fair, Willie does actually go to Comic-Cons, and he does get tables set up and does promote us. And I sat there and I was like, okay, you're saying this, but we're not doing anything. And Willie and Mark are like, yeah, fair enough, we're not. What could we do? And I was like, I don't know. What could we do? So, Willie and Mark are very busy people. They are both in the medical profession of some kind. They're both... I don't actually know if I don't think they're nurses, but they're very similar to... I think Willie's a nurse assistant, and I don't actually know what Mark is. But they're both in the medical profession, right? So they're very busy. They've also got their own families, wives, etc., etc. And of course, Willie is 6 hours behind me and Mark. Me and Mark live in the UK. Willie's in Iowa, so he's 6 hours time frame wise behind us. And so Willie said, look, I'm a carer, so my time is a little easier, and I'm a stay-at-home dad. So Willie went, okay, you come up with something, you do it, you be the foreman because we know that you'll do it right. I was like, okay, cool. So on the 21st of February, I sat down with the boys and I showed them everything that I did within that month. And I showed them that I made a YouTube channel and a TikTok account, and I told them kind of the content we'll be making and stuff. And so now we have the 3 Ranger Bros Studios YouTube channel. And the 3 Ranger Bros YouTube channel, or 3 Ranger Bros Studios is what it's called, has, as of this video drop in, we have 4 videos, and our 5th one comes out Tuesday. We're uploading every Tuesday, and we are currently doing 1 week where it's me and Willie, 1 week where it's me and Mark, and 1 week where it's all 3 of us, and we're doing all different types of content. We're doing story creative content, we're doing hypothetical content, we're doing top 3s, top 6s, and that sort of stuff. And so just to give you an idea, the videos that we've already got either planned or scheduled of some kind is 1 second, let me just pull it up for you guys. So as of right now, you can go to the 3 Ranger Bros Studios and you can watch what powers would the green and pink Dino Gems give their Rangers? So as you know, Power Rangers Dino Thunder had Dino Gems, they gave their Rangers civilian powers. So we each came up with a green and pink Dino Gem ability. And then we have who would the rest of the Mighty Morphin original Ranger team members mentor? So as we know, in Dino Thunder, Tommy becomes the mentor of the group. So me and Willie did a video where we gave each one of the other 5 a team or a specific ranger to mentor, and we both did this, so each ranger got 2 ideas. Then we have giving Mark the Cornish Ranger a different weapon arsenal. So me and Mark got together, and so in Mark's storyline of Mark the Cornish Ranger, he has access to the power weapons, all 5 of the Mighty Morphin power weapons from Mighty Morphin. So what we did is we swapped each weapon with the same colour, just from a different Ranger series. So for example, I gave the Power Lance, I swapped the Blue Ranger's weapon with the Turbo Ranger's weapon from, the Blue Turbo Ranger weapon. And then our most popular video is 6 mutants we want to see in Marvel Rivals, which is our first video that came out after the debut, which is me and Willie talking about 6 mutants that we want to see in Marvel Rivals. We both played the game quite a lot, and that is X-Men Edition. That's our most popular video at the minute. And we also have planned that Tuesday, so the day after this video comes out, this podcast episode comes out, me and Mark are teaming up to talk about 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossovers. And then our next big 3 Ranger Bro video is 3 live-action Marvel suits that are absolutely atrocious, just like the worst insult to comic book fans. So that's a lot of fun. It's just lots of different types of content, as you can see. And the really funny thing is that each video also is presented differently, because it's very hard to get all 3 boys to sit down, and time frames and restrictions. We have kids and things like this, and I don't have the cameras. You don't see our faces. What I've done is I've drawn each one of us a chibi. Mark is Mark the Cornish Ranger. Willie's is Eric from his original story audio drama called The Order, and mine is Sparks, my original character from my audio drama called Tales of Quatia. So all 3 of us have our own chibis, which, each video looks different and is presented different and stuff. It's edited different. It's a lot of fun. You guys will have a blast. So if you're listening to this, please make sure you check out the 3 Ranger Bros Studios YouTube channel. There's lots of different fun content and all the like. Now, with that being said, we also have a TikTok where we're doing a few different things as well. The TikTok hasn't got a lot to it at this moment in time. I am actually behind on the TikTok, but I'm hoping within the next week I'm able to edit these videos and start pumping them out, which will be a lot of fun too. But yeah, honestly, you'll see cosplaying stuff. There's really fun, geeky questions that you guys can join in on. There's, me giving the boys 5 different things that they've got to rank, but they don't know what's coming next, and you can't swap your ranking. So, for example, if I give them something, they rank it number 3, they've lost their 3rd spot, but they don't know what's coming next. That's a lot of fun too. We've got guests coming to both the TikTok and the YouTube channel and things. It's going to be an absolute blast, and I cannot wait to dive in. It's actually my favourite type of content to make at the minute. So yeah, that's one of the major reasons why we don't have an interview this week, is because that took a lot of my time. That being said, another thing the 3 Ranger Bros Studios also has, it's a podcast. Now this podcast is primarily me and Willie. So I've stated 1,000 times, and so has Willie, that when we get together and we talk on Discord, and we can sit down for hours on end and we'll talk stories. We'll talk story content, and this all goes into our audio dramas. Everything we discuss always goes into our audio dramas. And Willie always has an issue of keeping up with his own stories. And I have an issue with also not keeping up, but I have this issue with I start a story, I'm loving it, and then that dies down, and then I'll jump into a new story and these stories get forgotten. So to help both us out, every 22nd of the month, you'll get a podcast episode. And it'll go on the 3 Ranger Bros Studios YouTube channel. And it's called Within the Writing Room. And the podcast is also on Spotify. Again, Within the Writing Room. Within the Writer's Room. The video form will be on YouTube. And then the podcast form is on Spotify at the minute, and I'll make sure it goes on to other podcast platforms as well. Now, when it comes to these 2 specific, places you can find this podcast, you're listening to us build our storylines up, new storylines, old storylines, coming up with new chapter ideas, making sure that our stories make sense, helping each other out. And the cool thing is, the first one dropped Saturday, just gone, so that dropped the 22nd of March, and that's a lot of fun. Willie set himself up, I've set myself up, and now what we'll do each month after the first episode is we'll start each episode with, right, okay, last episode we spoke about this, how much have you actually accomplished? We set each other, we've set goals up for ourselves, and things. I also take notes in the video form. You can actually see the video is me taking notes. You see my writing document. So that's a lot of fun. That's really cool. And yeah, honestly, it's just a really fun podcast. You guys can delve in with us. The intro actually is Willie stating, join us in the writing room. Because it's us just building our audio dramas, and you guys can see behind the scenes, so to speak. So, hang on, until we take a swig. Normally I don't have to announce me taking a sip of something, but normally I'm interviewing a guest, so when I am taking a swig of something, the person I'm interviewing is talking, so I don't need to announce the fact I need a sip of my drink. I apologise. But yeah, so all that Free Ranger Bro stuff is a lot of fun, and I can't wait for you guys to check it all out. Check out the YouTube, check out the podcast, check out the TikTok, and it's a new content creator group, That being said, that's the main reason why I had to slow down. Now, tell the truth, I have 2 podcast recordings set for this week. I'm hoping for a third, one of them is completely off the bench. I'd never thought I'd interview the person I'm interviewing, but it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Second one's a returning guest, but we're going to be geeking out about lots of different stuff. And the third one, I'm hoping to be another interview. But yeah, it's been a hectic time in my house. But of course, my content is still going. We've still got gaming stuff going. We've still got the story stuff going. To tell the absolute truth, I'm not uploading story content. My audio dramas are on pause. They are on pause until the end of April, and I've actually stated this in the Writing Room podcast, within the Writers Room podcast, because I need time to catch up. I need time to write all these chapters, and now, to tell the truth, I have a good couple of chapters all ready to go, which I've actually had for a few months, but I'm going to edit them and stuff, and normally when I write chapters like this, where I take a break from uploading, I binge write, I don't do anything else. Literally, I've had one chapter I've had for months. I just haven't uploaded it. So this time around, I'm going to write, record, edit, schedule, and set up May and June, hopefully. Got a couple things for a couple channels. Some of the titles haven't got anything yet, and I'm starting kind of early. I'm recording this on Sunday. It comes out on the 24th, so from the 24th, I've already got a handful of things all ready to schedule, all ready to upload. And it's all ready, ready to go, which is great. I'm really glad that that's the case. If I knew, 1 second, let me just plug in my writing USB. So all ready to go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've already got 9 chapters, and they're spread across Lost Stories, Mysterious Origins, and Tiger Tales, normal Tiger Tales. And Tiger Tales X, sorry. So, 3 Tiger Tales channels haven't got anything just yet. That's fine, I can work on that. Granted, I will be uploading a Tiger Tales Lost Stories tomorrow. For you guys, it's today, on Monday, on Tiger Tales Lost Stories, because it correlates with what Mark's doing on the Universe 20 podcast, which is his storyline podcast, with his audio dramas, because every time that he has Mark the Corner Stranger visit a new universe, I'm using the Color Matrix to explore that universe. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you guys, basically, is, the reason why this episode is taking a normal interview, and the fact that we've got a Free Ranger Bros Studios YouTube channel, TikTok, and podcast now. It's a lot of fun. I will continue talking just for a moment, because as per usual, I have some questions off of Billy, the co-host of Zero to Hero. He has given me some questions once again, and I'm really, really happy to check these out, because they're really good questions, to be absolutely truthful, and I feel like there's some big answers to these questions. So the first one is, have you ever written yourself into a storyline corner? Now, first things first, all of these are storyline questions, audio drama questions, which is odd because he knew the Free Ranger Bros Studios channel was up now, and I don't just do writing, I have a whole different plethora of different channels, but he keeps going with Tiger Tales, which I'm fine with, but I do other stuff, Billy, come on. Anyway, have I ever written myself into a storyline corner? 110%. Fun little fact. My story, the Alexis the Vampire Slayer, is actually being deleted, and I'm starting from scratch. It's actually something that will be mentioned within the Writer's Room episode 2. And basically, my idea for Alexis the Vampire Slayer is I've been reading the Buffy the Vampire Slayer comics, not all of them, but I've been reading some of them, and some of the Angel ones, and it turns out there's actually a Slayer. If you know the ending of Buffy, you know what I'm talking about, but there's a Slayer who gets turned into a vampire, and I thought that's a really cool idea. Now, another one of my favourite supernatural-esque TV shows is Teen Wolf. So I thought to myself, what if I did, like, a Slayer who ends up in the Teen Wolf universe? That'd be really cool. And I started doing this, like, really, really cool idea, but I'm not liking where it's going. I've gotten myself to a point now where, like, I don't like it to a point where I'm not writing it anymore. So I have discussed this with Willie previously, but I want to build on it with him later down the line when we do record for episode 2 of Within the Writer's Room. And I'm going to completely delete the storyline, start from scratch, and instead of having Alexis the Vampire Slayer become a vampire and then get banished to the Teen Wolf universe, I'm just going to have Alexis a vampire slayer, not become a vampire, but still end up within the Teen Wolf universe, and I'm going to have her become a Teen Wolf from Teen Wolf. She'll become a werewolf. And I'm going to mix the Teen Wolf and Vampire Slayer universes and make them cross over in a really cool way. Another one is Power Rangers Future Foundation, which is my very first and main Power Rangers storyline. We're up to like almost 40 chapters, and I do not like where it's going. So, fun little fact, I'm not deleting Future Foundation off Tiger Tales, but there will be a brand new Tiger Tales channel at some point called Tiger Tales Universe 113. Now, in Tiger Tales Universe 113, Universe 113 is Future Foundation's universe. But in Universe 113, I will be starting Power Rangers Future Foundation. It'll be after the crossover that we're currently writing, which is Rangers and Riders War for the Multiverse. Once that is done, I will be diving into Tiger Tales Universe 113, where I'll be redoing Future Foundation. Now, if any of you guys know Tiger Tales, and any of you guys know Power Rangers Future Foundation, you know who William Cranston is. He's going to have a hand in this, and Future Foundation on Tiger Tales will still exist, but it'll be rewritten, then in story it gets redone, and that's where Tiger Tales Universe 113 will start, and Power Rangers Future Foundation will be on there. All the voice actors still keep their roles. So Billy, for example, plays a character called Elib. He's a Power Rangers samurai Gold Ranger, the next generation version of him, but he comes from a different time. He is still going to be that character. It's just I'm rewriting the storyline. And my issue is the way that I wrote the universe. It doesn't work very well. I have a better idea now to play around with, and there's 4 main storylines within Power Rangers Universe 113. 5 stories, sorry, there's 5 main storylines. Power Rangers Future Foundation, the spin-off Power Rangers Next Generations, Power Rangers Ventral Vanguard, Apex Rangers, and Kamen Rider Gaim. All 5 storylines will get a rewrite, and the first 3 Power Rangers series that I just mentioned will all become one thing now. I tried to do them all separately, it just didn't work. Xander can still have his own spin-off team, but it doesn't need to have its own storyline. And Elib will still be there, Billy will still have his role. Jared's got a character called Connor, who's the next Blue Zero Ranger, he'll still have his role, and things like this. So it'll be a lot of fun, it's going to be very interesting. And yeah, it's just a bit hectic, right, having all these storylines. So, Tiger Tales Universe 113, there you go, that has now been announced to you guys. That'll be later down the year, and we'll start with Power Rangers Future Foundation once again, and it'll be a blast. I can't wait to get the new Future Foundation out there. Give Billy some more lines to do and things. So Billy, if you're listening to this, Power Rangers Future Foundation is getting a revamp, and you're gonna love it. So yes, I've completely written myself into a fucking corner several times. The next question goes, how do you process new ideas? Do you log them in a notebook? That's a very good question. Yes, 110%. How do I process new ideas? It's always what I'm into at the time. So, for example, I'll get inspiration from TV shows I'm watching, movies I'm watching, games I'm playing, etc., etc. I'll get hooked in on certain thing, ideas from different medias. Music has even inspired storylines before. How do I process ideas? Mostly, it's a case of I've got to make sure it makes sense. And honestly, I just run it past Willie or Mark. Or Akram. That's what I mostly do. And then do I ever note them down, like log them in a notebook? Yes. There are 3 ways I do this. First off is I use my notes on my phone. Second of all, I actually do have a notebook. I actually have several notebooks. You know how people will always buy, like, something they don't need? Like, you know, some people always buy pens, even though they've got plenty of pens. Or people buy more sticky notes. Or people buy, you know, I don't know. I know one person who keeps buying, like, different cutlery and straws and utensils, even though their house is full of them. Things like this. You know, women like to buy handbags, even though they've got, like, 50. And shit like this. I always buy notebooks, even though I have some. And then I use Discord. I have a Discord server, which is completely private. And it literally has different channels, and each one's a different note for something else. There's one for my artwork to go on. There's one where, like, I have to list down my voice actors and who they play for different storylines. One's literally just got a tab for the Unionverse. One has got one for the, you know, who's who in Universe 113, what Ranger are they, how they link to Power Rangers, and if they've got a voice actor or not. So Billy, you're actually in that one as well, so you're Alib, you voice Alib, you know, Golden Samurai Ranger, you know, he's from the past, blah blah. So yes, I note down a lot of stuff everywhere. It's either on my phone, on the Discord server that I have, or on my notebooks. So yes, that's always notes that if you're ever creative in any form, whether you're building something, 3D printing something, drawing, writing, singing, making music, whatever the case may be, always note something down. It's really fucking handy. The third question he asks is, what are the pros and cons writing stories that involve other people's stories and characters? So I feel like he asked me this question because he found it really cool that part 5 of the Rangers and Riders War for the Multiverse, part 5 of that, I include a Ranger from a guy that I found on Facebook, a Facebook page called Custom Rangers. Very cool Power Ranger community on that one. And they, of course, customable Rangers. And he's come up with a Zenaku Merrick Wolf Ranger combination who gets a sword from the Shadow Ranger. Very sick looking Ranger, and I've included him. I talked to him, I was like, hey mate, can I use your character? You know, he is gonna die, but can I use him? And he's like, yeah, sure. So yeah, there is so many pros and cons, and I'm gonna list a few of them. So pros first. Pros are, you get to work with so many amazing people. You know, yes, I'm a creative motherfucker. Yes, Willie is a creative motherfucker, and yes, Mark's a creative motherfucker. But there are other people out there that have some really cool ideas. And you get to play around with these creations, you know. Another pro is not everybody does what we do. You know, not everybody has the idea of turning things into audio dramas. Not everybody feels comfortable doing audio dramas. Not everybody wants to do audio dramas, and that's fine. But if you give them the ability to have their character in something, a lot of time they say yes. And the really cool thing is there's going to be at least another 3 times that I have a creative person and I'm using someone else's Ranger. At least another 3, maybe a 4 if I can speak to a TikToker that we all know and love, who she has created her own Ranger. So I'm going to talk to her about her voicing her character. That's really cool, you know. You know, you're giving the person a chance to push their content. That's another pro is, you know, the character, the Zenaku Ranger, the Dark Wolf Ranger, he's actually a cosplayer. He cosplays his own character. He's got his sword and his helmet made and everything. And I've put his artwork in the video format of this audio drama so people can see it, and I'm pushing the content, you know, and things like that is another really cool things. And another really good pro as well is sometimes I get to work with these people and we can come up with some really cool storylines, and they'll bounce ideas off me, I'll bounce ideas off them and things like this. It's just really cool. I am in the process of talking to some Ben 10 people that made their own Ben 10 characters, and I want to turn their stories into audio dramas, so I'm working with them, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, it's just amazing, man. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. The cons, however, now I'm going to tell you a little story here. So, and this is a big con. So, when let's see, when the big Unionverse crossover was happening, yeah, the Party Invasion, the voice actor for 1UP, which, by the way, the guy who voiced 1UP made 1UP, right? And he's also the Joker's voice in Dr. Dead's head, so he played 2 characters for me. And he also made audio dramas. I was a part of his audio drama. 1 second. Yes, I was taking another swig on my Fanta. So, he made audio dramas. Now, he took a long time producing these audio dramas. I mean, he'd get 1 out a year, right? And one day, now, but mind you, I got a lot of voice actors, and my voice actors actually come from him. A lot of them did. So one day, he put up this message on his Discord server saying that he's removed everybody he deems unworthy of the quality he's looking for. Now, he keeps me in, so I see all of this. I actually take a screenshot of it, because I thought it was disgusting, right? That's a really bad thing to do. You can't just, he didn't even tell anybody, he just dropped them, and then explained to the only 3 other people in the Discord server why he's done it. So then, he messages me, and he says to me, hey, I'm willing for you to carry on being my voice actor, but I need you to get a better microphone. And I went, no, I have a blue microphone, right? You know, the brand blue, right? I got one of the nice, proper blue microphones, right? Not a blue Yeti, not a blue Snowball. I have like a proper blue, I think it is actually called a blue Yeti, aren't they? But anyway, I got a proper expensive blue. This microphone cost me money, man. So I told him to fuck himself. In a nicer way than saying that, but I basically told him to fuck himself. So he kicked me out the Discord, and we were civil still, and he still was my voice actor. So then what happens is, one of the voice actors, now remember what I just said, a lot of the voice actors for him were also now for me. I nicked a lot of his voice actors. Borrowed, I guess. One of them messaged on my Discord server, and they say, hey, what happened to Blank's, I'm not going to name people, I'm not a cunt. What happened to Blank's, Discord? Did it get deleted or whatnot? Because he's had issues with his Discord server before, so people were curious, and I went, no, he's kicked everyone out. So then he got really assy with people. Now, weeks go by. I'm talking weeks. I mean, I think about 3 months went by. Now, I have personally said to this voice actress who had asked about, you know, she's actually a really good friend of mine. I really do love this person. And I said to her, look, I need him to finish the putty crossover. I need to finish it. Now, once I'm done with the putty crossover, which, by the way, there's only 1 part left to upload. Maybe then we can sit him down and go, look, you know, that wasn't cool. Like you know, because he may get assy of us. He may tell us to fuck ourselves. I don't know what's going to happen. So she was like, yeah, fair enough. You know, we can kind of like an intervention type thing. Maybe we can talk to him, see what's going on after. I'll get what I need to get. Now, that might be a dick move from me. But still. Anyway, he sends me the lines, and I'm in the middle of editing. And then one day he messages me, and I have this really big paragraph off of him. And he basically says that I'm a dick, and that I've been slagging him off, and that I've been giving him really bad vibes since he kicked me out of his Discord, and that he's done with me, and he's blocked me. By the way, I didn't badmouth him at all. Right? I said to the actress who got kicked out of his Discord server, who was asking why she got kicked out. She didn't even know why, by the way. I had to send her screenshots of what Jared had said in his Discord server, and she got upset about this because she takes her voice acting very proudly. Every time she sends me lines and I upload them, she quite often, like, bullies herself because she doesn't feel like she's done a good job. Right? That's the type of person she is. And I have, me and a few people have like, yo, shut the fuck up, you did amazingly, you know, you're such a good voice actress. So, with that being said, when it comes to this person who, you know, is 1UP and that, he left. He kind of kicked me out. He was gone. Now, 1UP is his character. He made that mutant. He made that character. So now, I'm now stuck with this thing of like, well, I don't want to use a character that doesn't belong to me. You know, ethically, or whatever the word is, I don't feel right doing that. You know? Yeah, okay, there's no copyright. You know, it's not like 1UP is an actual character in comic books or anything. I don't want to do that. It's just who I am. So Willie gave me a really good idea where, what if I came up with a new character, but use the same name, and do something to 1UP in Mutants for Hire, And honestly, that is the reason why you guys haven't seen Mutants for Hire or War Against Gotham. Because I'm looking for a new Joker voice actor for the voice of Joker, and I'm creating a new one-up. So I have created a new one-up. The new one-up has got a new voice actor, and it's not the way I thought Mutants for Hire would go, but I actually do really like the way it's going now. And then War Against Gotham, the next couple of chapters haven't had Joker in it, or Dr. Dead then with Joker as a voice in it, because I'm still looking for a voice actor. Now, I do think I have someone, but I need to talk to them about it. So that is one big-ass con, is that one day you could, just like that, lose this person on a good note or a bad note, and you may not feel comfortable in writing with that person's character. But then on the flip side, there's Thunderstruck. Now, Thunderstruck's voiced by Austin. He's been on the podcast, and one of my favourite things about Austin is he's always down for business, right? So, let me tell you this. Thunderstruck is a mutant in Mutants for Hire. He's one of the main characters. And I said to him, hey, I want to put Thunderstruck in a different universe. Can we make him a bad guy? Can we just change him ever so slightly and make him a bad guy? So, Thunderstruck's ability is to absorb energy and release it in kinetic pulse, and he can move slightly faster than the other human, and what he normally does is he'll bounce off the walls and off of things, building the impact into kinetic energy and release it. So think of like Black Panther's suit from Black Panther, right? So, I said to him, hey, what if we change it ever so slightly so it's not him getting hit, it's not the impact that builds up kinetic energy. What if we add it so it's his speed that builds up kinetic energy, and that's what he releases? And he was like, yes, let's do that. And now he's in Avengers Earth/Alliance, which is in Universe 19, which is Willie's universe. So I now have 2 Thunderstrucks, and Austin absolutely fucking loved it. So I get to do things like that. I get to go, hey, I love this character of yours, but can we make a new one? The same character, just change it ever so slightly. So that's some pros and cons when it comes to involving, is you're limited, and sometimes, so for an example, I have Benevolent Cardio, who's my other Mutant for Hire. I stopped talking to his voice actor literally a month after the first episode came out. So he said to me, hey, look, I can't, if you actually listen to the voice acting is different. And he says to me, hey, I can't voice act my character anymore. Feel free to use him though, he's your character, crack on. I can't wait to hear what you guys do with him, but I got, life has kicked me in the balls, basically. So I was like, okay, if I find you. He said, yep, find a new voice actor for him, that's fine, keep on using him. I've tried contacting him since then. It's like his Discord is just turned off or something, I don't know. And I'm still using Benevolent Cardio because he has said I can use him, but I really want to see if he's willing to come back and voice the character. But it's a bit odd. But yeah, that's some pros and cons for writing other people's characters and stories. Is you get to do some amazing things. You get to push people's content out. You get to sit there and without screaming it, but you get to sit there and go, hey, guys, over here, woohoo, we have this person who's made this cool thing, and I'm going to tell you about this cool thing in a story way. But then at the same time, if you fall out with these people, or these people can't, do what you need from them, or, whatever, you may lose the ability to write with that character, not feel comfortable, because the person who made one-up never actually said I could use him. But he never said I couldn't use him. He never once said, hey, stop using my character. But I don't want to use his character, because I have morals, I guess, if that makes any form of sense. But yeah, that's the questions from Billy. Billy's been asking some really cool questions, really awesome questions. I want to kind of rope more people into asking me questions as well. And what I might do, actually, is the next time I do Stay at the Tiger Cage, I'll get Billy to give me some questions, and then maybe the Three Ranger Bros Studios give me some questions too, and I'll do a proper Q&A episode. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, honestly, it's been an absolute blast talking. Thank you, Billy, so much for the questions, mate. I can't wait for next month where you give me some more questions. It's been an absolute joy talking and rambling on for a little bit. I apologise, this has taken the main interview segment of the podcast, but I apologise, but life did kind of take over just a little bit. But yeah, check out the Three Ranger Bros YouTube channel, check out the Three Ranger Bros TikTok account, and of course, check out the podcast called Within the Writer's Room, and it's also on the Three Ranger Bros YouTube channel as well. Check out the videos, have a listen to what we're rambling on about, check out the editing and stuff. I'm really proud of this channel, and there is some new stuff coming this year, and there are some more storylines, more content, more gaming, more channels. I have so much planned. I have a to-do list, and it's getting on, and yeah, I'll look forward to it. Thank you guys for watching, of course, or listening, should I say. If you're watching this on YouTube, do subscribe. If you're listening to this on podcast platforms, don't forget to follow me and rate us and everything. If you guys have a question that you guys want in a Q&A video, leave it in the comment section to the video version of this on YouTube. Okay? And if you've got a question, Tiger Nexus Podcast on YouTube, leave it on this specific one, and I will include it in the Q&A. I love you all, roar of passion, and I shall see you guys in next week's episode, which will be an interview, I promise. But not only that, I shall see you in the next Tiger Cage, where we answer more of Billy's questions and maybe some other people's questions. But that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Check out the Three Ranger Bros YouTube channel, please. It's so good. It's so good, and I hope everyone is okay and safe and just being creative. Please, people, we need more creativity in the world. You know, there's too much negativity. Be more creative, please. I love everyone, and I shall see everyone in the next one.
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros Studio,
hosted by three cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
Cosplay Dude 637,
and Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channels, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.